Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Royal correspondent Michael Cole told GB News, Kate is going to be in hospital for up to 2 weeks as she improves, and I hope she does very rapidly. As her condition improves, I'm sure the children will also go down to see her. After she fully recovers, she will convalesce initially at Windsor at Adelaide Cottage, where they have a house in the grounds. They will stay there, I think, because the children are at school and she will want to be close to her children. It's not an absolutely ideal place. A former tenant of Adelaide Cottage was Mrs. Rosemary Townsend, the wife of Group Captain Peter Townsend, who famously had an affair with Princess Margaret. And she wrote in the memoirs that it was the coldest place she'd ever encountered in the whole of her life. So maybe not the best place to start feeling better, particularly in this quite cold winter that we're enjoying at the moment. King Charles was seen making his first appearance since the announcement of his upcoming hospitalisation next week for prostate surgery. The King is currently staying at his private residence, Burke Hall, in Aberdeenshire, where he is preparing for a corrective procedure due to a diagnosis of a benign enlarged prostate. The monarch was spotted for the first time since the news broke. He was observed inside a car alongside Queen Camilla as they were driven in Aberdeen near his Burke Hall residence. King Charles occupied the back seat of the vehicle while Queen Camilla sat in the front. Usually on the weekend, we take a minute to take a look at the Kate is Wonderful narratives, but in light of her health scare, we'll park the snark. However, this week's news has created a new cottage industry, the William is a great husband and father article. The Daily Mail's Rebecca English wrote under the headline, Kate's rock rushes to her side. English writes, last week I was with Kate's husband, Prince William, as he surprised motor neurone disease campaigners and former rugby league professionals Rob Burrow and Kevin Sinfield with their CBEs. He travelled up to Leeds to hand them their honours personally as Rob, who, along with his friend Kevin, has courageously used his diagnosis with the incurable life-shortening condition to raise millions of pounds to support fellow sufferers and fund research. As always, William was charming, compassionate and engaging, careful to put Rob, who is in a wheelchair and can communicate only through a computer aid operated with his eyes, at the heart of events. Even though Rob was unable to verbally join in the banter, the future king even joked with him about a prank the former player once played involving a Jaffa cake and a pair of Calvin Kleins. I shall say no more than that, which saw Rob break into a heartwarming, still impish grin. It was a deeply emotional occasion, and one, without going into detail, I found very moving. At the end of the engagement, I stepped tearfully out of the room to allow William some private time with the families. When he exited a few minutes later, he had obviously noticed my distress and I think was aware why. He looked at me, smiled kindly and nodded his head. You okay, Rebecca? There was no hint that anything untoward was going on behind the scenes in his own life. William has always relished being a hands-on father. He cooks, not brilliantly, but he does cook, cheers them on from the sidelines, and is there to do the school run and wipe the tears. As my colleague Robert Hardman writes in his excellent new royal biography, in his view, it's not far off the most important job he has, raising the next king but one. Fortunately, he has a close support network around him, particularly Catherine's parents, Michael and Carol Middleton, who are extremely hands-on grandparents, as well as their nanny, Maria. But nothing makes up for a daddy's love. While he never likes to disappoint the many charities and organizations he supports, he wants to be there for George, Charlotte and Louis, as well as his wife. I know he will bend heaven and earth to be at their side now and do the best for their little family, however long it takes. Not everyone is on board with the Wonderful William narrative. Republic, the anti-monarchist group, tweeted, they could all be off sick with the measles for 6 months and still fit in more engagements than last year. Man visits wife in hospital. Huge if true. Another user wrote, should we clap for him? The PR spin to desperately make Prince William look like a dedicated husband and father, juggling childcare and caring when he's an army of people supporting him and zero financial concerns about cancelling work to stay home is so tone-deaf. The man visiting his wife in the hospital, driving himself, was in a £139,000 electric Audi e-tron GT carbon Vorsprung, followed by royal bodyguards in a Range Rover. Palace Intrigue will be right back. There is speculation that Harry heard about his father's health through the normal media, possibly even through this podcast. The news broke at 7:25 a.m. Montecito time, so it's unclear if Charles had called Harry early in the morning or the evening before. So far, there are no reports of Harry commenting on either his father nor sister-in-law. Princess Eugenie stepped out in Davos this week to host an event, but royal fans had divided opinions on her style choice. The royal was joined by her sister, Princess Beatrice, as she hosted an event about the role of business and government in tackling modern slavery and human trafficking on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum. For the event, Eugenie wore Serena's wool coat by Marlene Berger in black, £510, and the Saloni Joy B short dress in Pavilion Garden print, £148. The royal accessorized the look with a pair of black chunky trainers. Commenting on a new picture of the royal posted on @RoyalFashionPolice's Instagram account, one fan wrote, "I didn't know a black coat could be so unflattering," while another one added, "She needs help. New stylist, new hairstyle." The third one said, "The shoes, OMG, why?" But others seemed to like the princess's look, with one commenting, "Beautiful lady, but dresses just like her mum." And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalacintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or your app of choice. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.